Good evening. I'd like to call the regular city council meeting to order for June 23rd, 2025. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City council members are here to serve the city of Pierz. We expect respectful conduct at all times. Slander or inappropriate language will not be tolerated. Please speak only when addressed, one person at a time. Each speaker has a 5-minute time limit. Thank you for your cooperation. First, I would like to get approval for the minutes for the city council meeting of June 9th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Lynn makes the motion.
I'll second.
Sarah seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The second one would be the public hearing minutes for June 9th, 2025.
Make that motion.
Gary makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Lynn seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried for the public hearing minutes. Next, we have addition or removal of the agenda, and I do have a few items here that we'd like to add. We have to add a gambling permit for the Lions, Pierz Lions. They're requesting one. Possible hires for the grounds crew that Gary will cover. The resignation for Parker, his last day being July 23rd. So those, I have those additions. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Laura, you good?
I am good.
Okay, if I could get approval of that.
I'll make that motion with
Lynn
the
makes the
additions.
motion.
Second that.
Gary seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A motion carried for that. So I think we'll do is we'll cover the additions first. The first one would be a gambling permit for the Pierz Lions requesting it. It's for 8/24/25, which is the Oktoberfest, Oktoberfest day. If I could get a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Sarah makes the motion.
I'll second that.
Gary seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. The next, Gary is going to cover it. He's on the park board, and it's possible hires for the grounds crew.
Yeah, me, Brad, and Jim did a bunch of interviews, and we're gonna hire Tayden Ringwalski on the grounds crew for $13.50 an hour, starting tomorrow, pending approval, and Joe Poland for $15 an hour part-time.
Okay, if I could get a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Lynn makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Gary seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Good.
And then Laura, you want to cover the next?
Yep, today I did receive the resignation for Parker Clare, our park complex director. His last day would be July 23rd.
Okay, if I could get a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to accept his resignation.
Okay, Sarah makes the motion. Second.
I'll reluctantly second it.
Okay, Lynn
I
seconds the
made the
motion.
motion reluctantly.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried, 3-1. Okay, so then moving on, we have, let's see, planning and zoning, and then Lynn is going to cover that for us.
So planning and zoning this evening, we had 2 permits, one for Kloss Homes LLC, 316 Carr Street for new construction. Everything fit within the zoning guidelines, and we would recommend approval. And the second one was for Jennifer Kloss, 113 Second Avenue Northeast, and that was for a little garden shed, and that also met zoning requirements, and we would recommend approval of that one as well.
Okay, if I could get a motion to approve those 2 permits.
Make that motion.
Gary makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Lynn seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried there, Lynn. Then we have coming up number 8 would be the 2024 street project update and pay app. And we have Jared and Bob Gruber here. So Jared, you're up first. Good evening.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. As you mentioned tonight, in your packet is pay app number 9 for our 2024 street reconstruction project. A little bit what's in this pay app here. It's essentially the bituminous street paving removals and then the paving operations that were done after our last pay app. So these were essentially done the week of the 9th, I believe, is when this paving operations took place. Cutoff for this pay app was the end of that week, and then since then we've had big improvements, I guess, on the completion of our punch list. I think there's only just a couple items left. Striping was done last week. Seating was done today, topsoil, and a bunch of other kind of miscellaneous punches that were done last week. So seating was kind of the big one. As far as there is one pay item that is still left that is to be determined on when that's going to be done. I think it's probably going to be done either this week or next week. As far as that's always the last thing we do is clean the storm sewer, just make sure that's all to the point where it's all new and cleaned up for us before they finalize the project essentially. So, but getting into the pay app here, this is, like I mentioned, pay app number 9. The total amount requested for this pay app is $107,534.52. This represents a total work certified to date of $2,106,843.59, which is roughly a 100.21% of the project.
So are we pretty much done with it then for the most part, Jared, after this is done?
Correct. Yeah, we'll have, depends on how we want to do it internally. We'll either have 1 or 2 more pay apps left.
Okay.
We'll have 1 pay app. If it's just 1, then everything will be obviously beyond that, and we'll cancel out the retainage and go that route. Or we'll have 1 where we pay them of what the work that isn't on this one, so like the seating and the striping, cleaning, stuff like that. And then we'll have a final one that's just essentially releases all the retainage. So
Got
we'll talk internally with staff on how we want to handle that, but that's really all that's left on
So we're
our
at
project.
we're at 102 or 102% of what it was originally right now?
Right now, we're at 100.2.
100.2. Okay.
Now,
Yeah, so we'll be really close to that.
yeah.
then.
I don't remember, we're in line with what we projected as our final last October, November, when we did our final assessments.
Right.
We're in line with that. So this isn't any surprise. I don't remember exactly what percentage we had for that estimate there, but we're in line with that right now. So I'm not seeing any
Good.
red flags.
That's great.
So.
Okay. Awesome. If I could get a motion for pay app number 9, I believe it was, Jared said,
Correct, yep.
for $107,534.52.
Make that motion.
Gary makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Sarah seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Motion approved, Jared.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And then I do have one more thing to talk about, and the reason why Bob is here tonight. We don't have a City of Pierz project per se. We do have a project in Pierz coming up this summer. Our 2025 lead service replacement project. That project has been awarded to a contractor. H&M Underground is who they are. They're from Southern Minnesota, local, or so Southern Minnesota, semi-local contractor, at least for Minnesota at least. And they are projected to wrap up in a different community, probably with doing lead service for a different community, beginning of August, end of July, and then starting up in Pierz probably mid-August. I do have a set of plans for everyone tonight. Oops, sorry, kind of maybe look through quick. Apologies, didn't make the packet. But essentially, can I keep talking while I'm waiting for
Yeah.
the mic?
Yeah, might as well.
Yes.
Yeah, fine.
The mics will pick you up.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's okay.
Essentially, all of our services that we'll be tackling this year are along Main Street. So kind of your business corridor through town here. So there are 5 that are on 3rd Avenue North, the street we just reconstructed back in 2021. And then just 1 on a side street, I believe it's on Robert there, right behind City Hall here. But these will all be replaced from the curb stop near the right-of-way to the meter inside the house. That was intended to limit street restoration. We're trying to, for the most part, save those until we have a street project coming up. We'll kind of plan that accordingly depending on funding for our lead service work. But right now, we're trying to just tackle the ones that are the least impactful to the public. And these are those. These will be those as far as only from the curb stop, which is near the right-of-way, to the meter inside the house. So impacts you can see, you can expect for this project. We will be detouring the highway. And so on the last page, I'm pretty sure it's the last page, is our detour plan for this one. Essentially kicking everyone west down at the gas station. Yeah, the speed stop down there. Going down Highway 27 and then coming up 250th Avenue and then over down 3rd Avenue. Very similar to what we did when we redid the intersection over on 3rd Avenue. We did that work with the CAD's very similar detour. And that will handle all the major truck traffic throughout the town. Local traffic impacts to that is we'll have kind of, we'll phase this no matter where we're just shutting down a block at a time. And so local traffic can get around through that. Businesses will be able to stay open for the most part, either coming from either north or south as far as foot traffic goes. But the road itself will be shut down for that 1 block as we're working through there.
How long do you think it'll take to do Main Street?
Well, they will, we are estimating on a conservative level, 1 per day, 1 service per day. We will more likely probably get 2 per day. So with that, I see this taking, to complete the services, probably about 3 weeks. No, sorry, that's 2 per day. 4 weeks. 4 weeks and then plus restoration
That's for all of them.
for all of them, yeah.
So just Main Street, it'll be a couple of weeks probably. Main Street.
Yep.
When will they close it down, Main? When do you think it'll-
We will have our pre-con mid-July just to kind of hash out a schedule. But right now I'm thinking probably mid-April. Sorry, mid-August.
Because mine, my concern is we have Rock Roll
October.
and Stroll.
Oktoberfest.
And Walking Wings.
Yeah.
We'll have thousands of people here for
Yeah.
a month.
Okay.
And I would like to see it open by then. I don't know if that's gonna be possible. but
Do you have,
We,
We would be shutting it down for a day and then open it back up at night too.
but like Rock Roll and Stroll.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday. They did, and they don't be working on Saturday, so if they shut it down and reopen it at night, it would be open for the weekend.
right,
And
Yeah.
we can work, we'll keep that in mind, but
Rock Roll and Stroll too, though.
Yep.
Which that's early in the month, so maybe, I don't know if that would.
okay. You said the Wings one, which, that is,
The second, it's the last Saturday of the month.
but which blocks are those?
23rd. They got it.
all
Main Street.
It's all Main Street?
All Main Street.
Okay.
so we can knock somewhere else.
Okay.
We'll talk to
When we have our,
pre-con.
So it's
Thank
gonna
you.
be August 23rd and 24th?
Yeah, we have a parade too that goes through town.
okay. So these are all great points. Thank you for bringing them up. I'll make note of these. I'll get with, Eric afterwards here and we'll
Well, Bob would know.
We'll go through
So it's-
these important key dates for the City of Pierz coming up for the impacts to Main Street, and then we'll bring those up at our pre-con. And then we can come back with a game plan for how we want to handle it. If it's something that, worst case scenario, if we need to take a couple days off and not do them, just to ease the mind of everyone, for those days, we can work that into our schedule. Or we can work around it and make sure that we're working on like 3rd Avenue or something. Yeah.
Bob, you'll know. Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah, because the Oktoberfest is huge. I mean, we literally get, thousands of people lining the streets for,
Mhm.
for the parade. And that's-
Okay. All
We'll
right,
deal with it, we'll figure it out.
I mean, you only do
Yeah.
one at a time, right?
correct. Well,
mean,
1 to
well-
2 a day, but yes, 1 at a time.
But they'll prep probably the day before.
Well, I was just thinking of the one right over here last year was kind of during that time and it didn't interrupt too much.
Yeah, most will be very similar to your property back here. That was done from the right of way, just behind the sidewalk here.
Or it was finished
If it stays
or,
like that one, it's really, the flow will still be there then, to be honest with you. It stays like the one that was here.
Yeah, and most of them, like I said, most of them won't really be impacting the through lanes. We should just close it down to for safety concerns, right? We don't have truck traffic be flying through there. Yeah, we can definitely make note of those dates and bring those up as interest from the city standpoint when we have our pre-con. That is the plan for this project. Correct. As far as public outreach, part of me coming tonight with this would be just kind of get your opinion and thoughts on how maybe we present this to the public or is there any, since this isn't like our project for our 2024 project where we had those newsletters every month and could send those to those people. This is pretty, if we send it to the resident, that doesn't really impact anybody. This is more impacts to other people than just those homeowners, right? And we're shutting down Main Street. So is something along the lines of maybe just having a newsletter that we can provide to the city, providing kind of schedule updates, but then post it like on your Facebook? Is that maybe the route we go
Well,
since,
does that work for you? I would
Oh,
think-
yeah,
I
Absolutely.
think that works.
and we can have copies at City Hall like we did for the street project, but as far as mailing them out, I don't know how that would be received. I mean, I don't think we'll get the impact we want by just mailing out,
Right.
Oh, I
you know,
agree.
those 20-some emails or 20-some letters. So I think that might be the route we go is we'll
Yep.
do the same thing on my end as far as drafting up newsletters and updates, but we'll just put them onto the
I think so. I think that.
Facebook page or, yeah.
Facebook city website.
Yeah. Okay. All right. With that's all I have. There's no action item needed for this one. Just kind of a quick update. I know we talked about it probably, what, a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe, but at a staff level, we kind of went through this. But we haven't brought it to committee level or a council meeting yet, so. All right, if there's nothing else. That's all I got.
Good, well, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Are you, Bobby, you got anything you need to say?
Just here for moral support.
Are you? Well,
In case I was late.
But if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to either of us.
There's gotta be somebody else you can pick from moral support.
You,
There's certain things I can't say out here, so I'm staying out of it. Okay, so next we have Erica Henneken here with Sourcewell Impact Funds.
Good evening, everybody. In front of you, City Administrator Laura Wacker printed off 2 resolutions. Resolution number 1 is going to be for the Pierz Police Department. Starting in July, I believe the middle of July 14th or 15th, they released impact funds, and we can apply for them, and it's a lottery pick. The police department and along with the fire department, we have not put in for these funds before, so we stand a good opportunity to getting these funds. So it's my goal, if we get accepted, to put that towards a new patrol unit. And in order to do that, they request a resolution, so I'm just trying to stay ahead of the game. So I have my application all written out. All I gotta do is hit submit, and then it's in there as soon as they can. And just if I get it, I get it. If I don't, it's money that I don't have to come back and request or ask for. So I'm just trying to utilize these funds through grants to save the taxpayers some money here in the city of Pierz.
Awesome, so if I could get a motion to accept the resolution 2025-0623-1.
Make that motion.
Gary makes a motion,
I'll second it.
Lynn seconds it, all in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carried.
Thank you. And then resolution number 2, same thing again. I told Chief Russell that I would just present it for him, so he wouldn't have to be here. But again, he's talked about the self-contained breathing apparatuses that they have to eventually do something. So he's gonna do the same thing. If he's lucky enough to be awarded the 40 or 50,000, he'll put it towards this program to save again the taxpayers some money towards that item. So again, just need approval for him to move forward with the impact funding for the fire department.
If I get a motion for resolution 2025-0623-2.
I'll make that motion.
Lynn makes the motion.
Second it.
Gary seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried.
And then as long as I'm up here, can I just go through an update from the police department right away?
Absolutely, I'd love
Okay.
to.
So the other thing that I did here, had to be 2-3 weeks ago, got an email from Sourcewell that there was boost funds available that people did not go after last year's, and you can write for $2,000 and it's unmatched. So I put in, as we know, if you've been in Preston, Mr. Rushlow's office, that's all original desk, everything in there. So I'm thinking, okay, what should we go after? So I quick wrote up a little grant to go after $2,000. Day later, they accepted it. So if you go in there, it's complete new desk, new furniture for him, and it just, to me, he deserves it, number one, but when you walk in, it's very professional. So it cost me $500 on my own, out of the city budget, which I had, so it cost $2,500 when it was all done. I just thought it was a very cool improvement for Mr. Rushlow in the police office. So that was done. The other thing that's coming back that we have not had for years, the safety fair. I think, Lynn, I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
Back Community Ed through Mary Cheetah, they'd always do a safety fair behind the school. I think, Bobby, you're part of it.
Yep.
And Sarah Funk reached back out to me, asked me my opinion. I said, absolutely. So we put her in contact with us, the fire department, the SWAT team, some other organizations that will come in with the patrol units, fire department, and put a show back there for anybody from the community and or kids to come through. So the date of that's going to be August 4th. I'm not sure on the exact time yet, but it'll be sometime probably 10:30, 11 o'clock on August 4th for 3 or 4 hours. And then we'll end with a canine demo for anybody to watch the Morrison County, the canines do a demonstration. So that's coming back to where it used to be. And other than that, I have nothing else on my updates.
Where was that gonna be held at again?
Right in the back parking lot of the school, in the east parking lot, right behind Mr. Helly's old, I always call it Helly's Field.
Right,
I
But
think that's
August
what it's-
4th is the date, but they'll put it out on social media once we know the time frame of what time it will happen.
The other thing I'd like to just touch on real briefly with you is, I remember, like, I don't know, 3 years ago or something, that you and Mr. Rushlow and I and then Bob Trimmer got together. It was like in case an emergency or something happened in Pierz, we wanted to go over the protocol of how, all the department heads would handle it. I'd like to set something up with you. I think it's been like 2 or 3 years. If you and Laura,
Yeah,
maybe you could put something together.
Absolutely, because I think that was your first year when you came on when we did it, but yep, I'll be more than happy to. And if it's a conversation you want to have with just you and Donnie, or if we want to do it at a workshop, so the rest of the council would see the documentations that I have in front, that they understand.
The only
But-
thing there was places where people were supposed to go, remember that?
No, yeah, true.
Yeah.
We talked about that today because this is an ongoing conversation that we've been having with the school. And we're actually taught it's better if the community knows where them locations are. So that wouldn't bother me so much, John, but
Okay.
whatever way you want to move forward, you just
Yeah,
let me know.
I'll touch base with you here in the near future. Let's
Okay.
talk about it.
Yep.
But either way, one way or another, I'd like to get something set
Yep.
up so we know it.
That's easy. We'll get it done this summer then.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Sounds good. Anything else from the council?
Thanks for all your hard work.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
sure.
everybody.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next we have the city administrator update.
I just have a few updates that we are going to be starting the budget committee meetings. Golf course has completed their budget. I know Eric has completed his reviewing it. So I'll be sending out meeting invites to the budget committee to get those rolling. And then the other part is we'll be starting employee performance reviews for the full-time employees.
I did, Laura and I kind of discussed that, and we tried something for a couple of years where we were more involved with the reviews of the full-time employees, then we kind of rated them, and then their how they got rated was how their increase was gonna be. And Laura and I talked about it, and we felt that we just go back to where Laura just basically works with the employees and does the reviews with them. And if there's anything, she'll give us an update at the end of it, how the reviews go. And as far as how we'd work out the pay increase for next year, we'll talk about it we'll discuss it at our budget meeting and then present something to the council. We have an idea of maybe how to handle that as well.
And we'll have a workshop to discuss all that, I'm assuming.
Plan a workshop to do the budget and the employee
Yeah,
reviews.
sure. I think that's what we did last year, I think, too.
Absolutely. And that was all my updates.
No,
Oh, I apologize. We were talking about with Parker's resignation that we should probably plan a full-time staff clubhouse for the clubhouse.
we're going to have to replace those hours. That's 40 hours a week that we will not have down there.
Well, Laura, I think, is gonna talk, why don't you see just, I guess at this point, we got a month yet or so.
But we've got training, we have to
Sure.
put the app out there. I guess it's just the approval to post is what we're
Right.
looking for.
Well, I don't think we need to post for a director of the.
No.
Just a worker.
Clubhouse staff,
Right.
worker.
Just the clubhouse staff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. We'll have to replace the hours. I think we should go off of maybe what Mark and Andy, what their lead is, how they wanna handle it.
well, then we're hoping Parker can help with some of that too before he goes.
Right, yep.
So I would make the motion to post for a clubhouse staff position at 40 hours per week with the pay range that we had for everybody else. I don't know what that was even.
I think Andy was $17.
Yeah, but he's a lead, so it would be
Isn't it like
right at that
15?
13 to
Oh, 13.
16.
13
Yeah.
to 16?
1650, I think, is the highest.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
All right,
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. That it?
Officially, yes.
I talked to Laura as well, in the past, when we were on the park board, we would get actually monthly updates of the revenues minus the expenses to find out how the complex is going. And we've kind of struggled with that a little bit. So I did talk to Laura, and once we get through this first half of the year, she's gonna work on getting us how expenses minus revenues to see how we're looking profitable wise. And then it sounds like the new mower has finally come in, which is good news. But that will be an expense against the golf course for either the first half or the second half. That's all that I have. Anybody else have anything?
you're not?
I just want to throw out just a reminder to everybody, driving around town, just to remember to mow your lawns, especially the empty lots. I guess that's what I was seeing mostly, is if you have that empty lot, at least once a month, please take care of it. Be kind to your neighbors.
I have a question about the golf carts. Do we have that policy in place now where they have to be registered or whatever?
Oh, I was gonna ask you about that too, Eric. Whatever happened with that?
Still in the attorney's hands.
It
Okay.
is?
Yep, still in our hands.
Okay.
We're waiting for the final read. We changed, we had to add some, like what streets that they can't be on, such as Main, Highway
Right.
25 and 27. So we're waiting for the final read, and then we
Okay.
can give you the first read and go from there. But
I say, because I still see them going buck wild around. No,
They are.
no seatbelts for little kids just sitting. I'm just like, those kids, they hit the wrong bump and they're,
so it's still in the works, hopefully it's sooner than later.
okay, just curious.
And then the other thing about the no hunting and stuff, I think you're working
That
on.
one's next. That one's really
People
done.
hunt in
It's
town?
We
What?
just don't want them all coming at the same time.
Right,
So that's
absolutely.
why we're trying to knock.
Golf.
It's crazy how fast the years
Oh.
fly, because we're coming up another 2 months, you'll build a bull hunt again.
The only thing good with hunting is we have our properties posted now.
Yeah,
so
we
people
do.
can, so
It is good.
we're saved on that end if we don't get to that one right away.
Okay, well, Donnie isn't here, so if somebody wants to do the honor.
Oh, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:32 PM.
Is there a
I'll second it.
motion to adjourn, Lynn seconds it, all in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed, motion carried.